times I try to collect mines from complex rhymes. And by the way, shout out Tech 9. Go and shut the up. Just let me.
It's week 3 of the NFL, and we'll be watching Terry McLaurin. He went well over 100 yards a week ago and found his way to the end zone. It's the Commanders and the Eagles, and it's coming up next on Madden Football.
We are technically 5 miles east of Washington, D.C., and that's where you find this place, FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you talk about this Commanders team coming into play here today. An early season tilt, and when it's an early season tilt, should be ready to roll.
Well, let's face it, the aches and pains haven't really set in yet, and both teams eyeing a really good start to get things going.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Eagles, well, down on the field, they're all thinking the same thing that they do every week, Charles. All the work, all the preparation over the past week, it all leads up to these next 4 quarters.
It's suspenseful now, Brandon, but once that ball is kicked, that thought will go out the window. From then on, it's just time to execute and fight for a win.
It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. So out comes the Washington offense onto the field. They'll be brought out by a player who was undrafted back in 2015 out of Old Dominion. Last season, his first as a starter, it's Taylor Heineke.
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP. Already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
First play, and Heineke looking to pass it. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. And he'll take this across the 25 before going out of bounds. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
I don't care who you put on him, he's going to be a handful of one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe needs some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Well, still very early in the season, obviously, CD, but already key injuries that they've had to deal with.
And what's really difficult for a team is to try and maintain their focus when they feel like they've been a little bit snake-bitten. It feels like every time they turn around, another injury crops up. How do they manage to hang together, get guys to play a little bit above their heads, and make sure that they're still afloat when their starters make it back?
5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. The CD, as we look at this draft class, this offense received quite a bit of help this past April. It's a group very focused on this side of the ball, particularly when you look at those early picks.
Yeah, when you look at the top of the board, it's pretty clear they want an immediate impact player for their offense in the first round, and they got him. Beyond that, I like how they kept adding to that unit in the rounds that follow. Those other picks, they may not all be the same type of day-one difference makers, but coach them up, and they could make a difference down the road.
Heineke's throw into the hands of McLaurin, and he'll be brought down inside the 40-yard line. And he's already got 2 catches on the opening drive. They know he's going to be a handful.
And sometimes you game plan for that offensively. You want to make sure that guy touches the ball, and sometimes it just happens naturally. And then you change your game plan. When he has the hot hand, you keep going back to him because he's running routes with confidence as the game goes on.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
One thing that you're going to see from this offense is that they love the matchup with their wide receivers against this secondary. That one wasn't successful, but don't expect them to back away from attacking all game long.
And the Commanders are looking at 1st and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Heineke again. Dotson has it. Touchdown, Commanders. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter, that's when the knockout occurs.
It becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And he will make it back to the 15, and that's it. Good coverage there by the kick team. Now, for the first time, we get to see this Philadelphia offense led out by their dual-threat quarterback now in his 3rd season, Jalen Hurts.
And I think if you're handing out hardware through 2 weeks of the season, he might be your MVP. Already 7 touchdown passes in just 2 games. As we do know, though, in real life, they don't hand you out anything this early. A lot of games left to get through between now and the playoffs.
Hurts and the Eagles come up here 1st and 10 at their own 15. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Wide open receiver complete. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Miles Sanders first carry of the game. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. A tackle by Cole Holcomb. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. This defense for the Commanders very strong last week as they helped their squad improve to 2-0 on the young season.
They should.
Oh, the Commanders are going to get there as he's taken down. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. A CD, so often we talk about quarterbacks holding on to the ball too long. Well, we can't say that there. He had no time to do much of anything.
Yeah, that's when we turn to your lineman and say, guys, can I get a little help here? And you have to ask politely because, remember, they're blocking for you the entire game. But as a quarterback, you've also got to have the clock running in your head when you need to get rid of the football. But this time, he had no chance. They were on him instantly.
Sanders has it over the middle. And the next-gen stat's going to show just how much time he had to make a decision, and it's not much. 3 seconds, the final clocking. After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession. On 4th down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. So a change of possession here on the punt. And they will take over 1st and 10. Some good games coming up here in Week 3, the first weekend of fall officially. And tonight, the Niners and Broncos from Denver. 49er fans are probably saying, wait, I thought we were done with Russell Wilson. No, they'll see him tonight. And then on Monday night, Cowboys and Giants from MetLife Stadium kicking off at 8:15 Eastern. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down. Now Heineke. Throwing it Terry McLaurin's way again, and he's got it. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Taking a shot for Samuel. touchdown. Curtis Samuel, 48 yards. And the Commanders have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Boy, Charles, this offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring, and another example of just how good they are right there on that play.
Yeah, we often overstate about how explosive teams are, but this team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
The extra point by Sly is up and good, and that'll make the score 14-0. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it was polished off by a Washington touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their second drive. Early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, something like that neighborhood.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. Hurts sets up to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Offensively lucky there, able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
So here's Washington now to take over. They've won 2 straight, and they lead this one as well as they come up on 1st and 10. This is caught by his tight end, Logan Thomas. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
To throw again on 2nd down. Heineke. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. 1:58 left to play till we hit halftime. Field goal unit and Joey Sly now. From the left hash, this from 53 yards out. Sly able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further. So 3 points there, and they continue to build this first half lead.
Yeah, every little bit helps, and the more that you can put together drives and start controlling the tempo, controlling possession, finishing with points, the better off you're going to be.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Here's Hurts to throw. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Hurts. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Cameron Curl. And he's got some space here. And the Commanders are going to take possession of the football.
Partner, I think this one went awry very simply because he overestimated his arm strength and his ability to fit it anywhere he wants to. A lot of quarterbacks do that and often pay the price.
And the Washington offense going back to work. And now following that turnover, they've got an opportunity here to try to cash in with good field position before intermission. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Heineke to throw it. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
But defensively, you're over there trying to catch your breath and try not to show the offense that you're a little bit fatigued. You're right back out there after the turnover. Now they've got to work towards getting another couple of stops and forcing them into at least a long field goal situation.
7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, we're going to sell the go. Just go. Let's see who's faster.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw is Heineke. And he's got it. Touchdown, Washington. Logan Thomas. An 18-yard touchdown grab. And the Commanders are able to widen their lead here in this first half. Week after week, Charles, when we see this offense operate, I don't know, they just seem to get more impressive.
They certainly do, and let's face it, it's no surprise they're the best in the NFL in scoring. This team designs things well and executes even better. And here, it only takes a few snaps before they're in the end zone. That's how they demoralize teams. That's how they put them on notice.
Now Joey Slye for the point after. And the lead is now 24. So that drive, 4 plays. And it was capped off by the Logan Thomas touchdown catch. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Eagles offense back out getting set for this next drive. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive. And they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp. And at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And this will not get close to the first down marker as he's brought down at the 26. Here's Brett Kern now to punt this one away. .31 yards on the punt there. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see.
It certainly looked like someone was very confident in his ability to fit that one in. I would say he was overconfident because there wasn't a whole lot of separation there. Had that one covered pretty well downfield and knocked it away.
He completes this one to Terry McLaurin. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. So we've reached halftime here in our nation's capital with the Commanders on top. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Time to give you folks at home a look around the NFL on this first official weekend of fall. So let's get to it. We'll begin up at Bank of America Stadium in Uptown Charlotte. And it's the Saints who are out in front as that inches closer to halftime. The Saints trying to hold on and claim victory. From there, it's off to Chicago. Check on the Bears at home at Soldier Field. And this one going the visitors' way as the Texans have the lead in that one. 3 touchdown passes there for Davis Mills. Finally, let's get to Indianapolis to check on the Colts at home at Lucas Oil Stadium. In that matchup, all even in their battle with the Kansas City Chiefs. Time now for a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Eagles. And they will need to get this passing game in gear because they did not do much of anything in that first half. And it's why the scoreline is what it is. Meanwhile, for Washington, they were much more successful throwing the football than their counterparts. As you can see the numbers there.
Final adjustments being made for the second half. Whether they'll amount to much in a game that's already pretty well decided, well, that's another question. Nevertheless, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
Okay, Coach, thanks. Yeah, that's something to consider. Are we in for more one-way traffic here in the second half? It has not been a competitive game to this point. It's the Eagles ready to see the football first, and they trail here as we resume action in this third quarter. Fields it right around the goal line. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Eagles ready to go on offense to begin this third quarter. They look up at the scoreboard facing that deficit. A 3-score game, Charles, but look, there's plenty of time to go here. The old football cliche that comes to my mind is you can't get it all back at once. They probably need something, though, out of this drive, at least 3 points.
Are you trying to say that there's no 3-score drive on that play sheet for any of those coordinators? They just don't have it, right? You're trying to get it all back. You know you can't get it back in one drive. But maybe cut into it a little bit as you just suggested. Try and create a little bit of momentum, a little bit of a spark, and then maybe that'll carry over.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Throwing is Hurts. And this is going to be incomplete.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
On is Kern, the punter, to send this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. It's a 45-yard punt, but a decent return there of 9 yards. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. There's Terry McLaurin, such an exciting pass catcher as this offense comes out for their next drive. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. Heineke's throw taken in by Samuel. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. A well-executed 22-yard gain. They go play action. Now Heineke. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. In the third quarter here in D.C., a 2nd and 10 upcoming. Throwing, Heineke. This to McLaurin out on the left side. Touchdown! Terry McLaurin, 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Commanders have opened the lead up to 30. The partner, he has carried them in this ballgame throwing the football. All 4 touchdowns through the air, and that's really helped them get this nice lead.
And I know it's a team game, but right now, he is truly the focal point. Every touchdown his team has so far has been the result of his arm. How about him throwing it downfield, creating big plays? I don't know how you slow him down unless you can make him uncomfortable in the pocket.
Extra point by Sly is up and good, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Taking it about the 1. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15. Here's the Philadelphia offensive unit now as they head out to take over possession. The disparity in this game, it just seems to grow with each possession here, Charles. They are really struggling. They have not put up a single point, and on the other side, the points keep piling up and up and up.
So you know the frustration level has to be rising, right? So they've got to find a way to quell that, because otherwise, they certainly won't get anything done in this one. Keep diving deeper into the offensive playbook. The bottom line is, don't quit competing.
These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. They'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. They'll look to set up his blockers. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. A good starting spot for Washington as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. And throwing here to start the drive as they connect left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work this to the 45. Heineke now looking to throw on 1st down. He gets it to Thomas. And he's going to get him another 1st down here as he's able to dive forward to get as much as he can. 15 yards last play and 15 yards here this go-around. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Looking to throw. Heineke. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 there on the sack. Good pressure, and it's 2nd down. They run with the Alabama rookie. That's Brian Robinson. And he's got room. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 31 yards there and a 1st down. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now Heineke. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete. Down this close to the goal line. 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am. And you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me an option.
And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. Brian Robinson Jr. His 3rd rushing touchdown of the year. And the Commanders are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. Kick team out there for the Commanders as they send this one away. Fielded just outside the goal line. And he will be taken down here on the return on what will wind up being the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat. Oh, and Hurts is going to be hit and taken down to the ground. Throwing on 2nd down. Hurts. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The offense on 3rd down, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Back to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. 35 yards that time on the punt. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. Well, here we go on the next drive for Washington. They've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
It certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted, so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
That's a gain of 4 as we slip inside of 4 minutes left in regulation.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations. There'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
On 1st and 10, Heineke. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Defense.
So obviously they will decline the penalty there, and the result is 6 points.
That penalty is
Sly
declined.
on for the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it's finished off by a Terry McLaurin touchdown. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the 4th quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film section tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about it in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And now a pass dumped off to his running back. They get 7 there on the screen. It'll set up a 3rd down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. Going to need a crafty play call here. 14 yards is what they need to try to convert this thing. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Here's Brent Kern now as he's on to punt for Philadelphia. Returnable here from the 38. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Commanders' offense set to take over. Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pull it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate. But we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Fletcher Cox able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage, and it will be 4th down. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Eagles set and ready for their next offensive drive. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. Oh, and this ball's tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Bobby McCain. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything.
And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Boy, missed tackles continuing to plague this defense, and they surrender another big play and a touchdown here.
Yeah, by my count, at least 2 guys had shots at it, maybe even more than that. But this defense, they looked out of sorts all game long. That was definitely not one of their better efforts right there.
Slide for the PAT. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A nice, tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. That's caught by the big tight end, Dallas Goedert. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So a victory here for the Commanders. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Washington, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll hit the road next week to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Eagles, they suffered defeat for the first time as they dropped to 2-1. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves next week at home against Jacksonville.
I'm bringing my game. All of that talking just sound like a show. I'm just letting you know that I'm not entertained. You hear the crowd, they screaming my name. I got the stadium going insane. Done with the talking, it ain't no discussion. You started, I finished, put me in the game. Put me in the game.